Heat win! Heat win! Had some technical difficulties there, but welcome to the MHB postgame show. I'm your host tonight, Franky G, and with me is my lovely co-host Siobhan Beslow. How you doing today, Siobhan?
Hello, Frankie. Hello, people. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well after
I'm.
that.
I.
Go ahead.
I could be. I could be better,
100%.
but I'm okay.
It's the cardiac heat, man. They do this to our blood pressure, make an easy game a little bit more difficult. But we got you covered here to talk about all of that. No Giancarlo Navas tonight. He's has the night off. We will have you take you through the good, the bad of this game. Let's get right into it, Siobhan. A nice win in the closing in the fourth quarter,
Let me see
113 to
these stats.
105. Uh, I think the big topic here, they won three quarters.
Did they? Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. That means that's like 3 wins. That's 3 W's.
That's it.
We're now 10-11.
That's what it is. But that's what they tell you. It's not the final score that matters. It's how many quarters did you win? That's what we
Absolutely.
learned in the playoffs. They won three quarters. That third quarter, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the
Oh
third
my
quarter.
gosh.
Um, I think we should start with Kyle. I think he was
Okay.
fantastic tonight in the first half, especially big second quarter. Was aggressive early on, got them going to the rim, spreading it to shooters and cutters. What'd you like about Kyle?
What I appreciated most about him tonight was his shooting stroke from outside. The moving it around, those are the things that I expect out of him. Those are the things that Miami sorely missed when they missed and needed a point guard.
Mhm.
And so he's come in and has done that very well for them. The shooting touch tonight, I think, takes him over the hump because without him shooting as well as he did, and they were timely threes. They were threes when it felt like DC was gaining a little bit of momentum, or we could have let the rope slip all the way and we didn't. And he just came in and kind of stymied some of the momentum that Washington was trying to run away with. Thanks, Bronx. Shout out to you. Um, so yeah, it was that for me tonight, and he just feels more lively. This is my favorite stretch from him in a Miami uniform by far, and I appreciate just he just feels different for me. His energy feels different. His he feels to me like he cares a little bit more, and so it's been really nice to see, and I enjoyed him tonight. But for me, it was his shooting stretch, his shooting stroke, which I think I appreciated the most tonight.
Kyle tonight went 9 for 9 from the free throw line, 5 of 6 from three. He didn't really like he moved the ball well, but like you
Right.
said, he had it was done mostly with the scoring. Team high plus
Mhm.
19, 28 points. That's what most people care about. But he had three assists, another block. He's been averaging like a block a game
Nuts.
in the stretch, and he's like 5'10" on a good day. Um, let's talk about Tyler. Tyler, his first game back after
Mhm.
missing quite a long stretch here with the ankle injury. He had a scary fall tonight, landed right on his tuchus. Really rusty through three quarters, and then end of the fourth quarter really found his groove.
Yeah. I expected him to be rusty coming back, and um, I'm trying to. So I think he did a good job for the
Mhm.
most part, not pressing too much. I don't know what's happening out there. My bad. He did a good job not pressing too much, and it makes sense to me in the end or towards the fourth. He started to get going a bit. That's they've missed scoring, and
Mhm.
so in spots in the second half where like they have missed scoring, it makes sense that he had space or he took it upon himself to kind of go and get buckets tonight in the fourth. I was fine with what I saw from him.
Mhm.
I'd be, of course, interested to see what he looks like on Friday. Like, I just want to see him put together consistent, good stretches. I want to see him, of course, back with the team full. I need to see him with Jimmy. But this team has always needed his scoring punch. That's never been the question, at least not for me. It's just how it comes. Hero's going to be out next game with full body soreness after that fall. Probably he should have kept. He should have kept active on the sideline. He should have got a bike, keep that thing moving, or it's going to stiffen up and it's going to hurt tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
But I was fine with him tonight. And again, they missed his scoring punch. It's just about how in the flow of what's happening out there does he get his points, and him going nuclear in the fourth is nice to see.
Yeah, just for his confidence, I think.
Yeah.
There were stretches where I felt he was pretty predictable, or like he was more deciding what he was going to do rather than reading the defense. Like
Mm-hmm.
early on, there was a play where he beat somebody jab step. They jumped the wrong way. He crossed over, had the lane to the basket, and pulled up for the baseline jumper and rimmed out. And he had the whole lane. Like he looked like he went into that play deciding, I get open, I'm
I'm
going to the
pulling
mid.
out.
I'm going to the
Yeah.
midi. And he did that again in the second half. And there's just stretches where he just didn't look all the way there decision making wise. But I definitely liked I liked what I saw in the fourth quarter. He looked a lot more confident, got to his shots, his rhythm, and that's big.
He's got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yes. Oh my God. So some ticky tack ones, of course, but
Yeah.
he's got to put himself in better position.
Yep. Quicker. You're not great defensively. Do some of has gotten better. Won't take that away from him at all. Do some of your work quicker. But that comes with anticipating and reading what's going to happen, having a little bit more keen of just anticipating things defensively. But yeah, some of this stuff, there was a little bit of doing too much earlier on. I think so. But I think that's a small chunk of that was to be expected with him being reinserted into the lineup.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
But no.
I was gonna say some of it was some of the lineup choices that Spo went to. There was a stretch where he was on the floor. It was him, Caleb, Hamish, Kane, and Dedmon. And he's the only real shot creator. Like Caleb, we'll talk about Caleb in a second. He had a fantastic night. Gave them a lot of relief scoring and defense wise, rebounding too. But when you're in that kind of lineup, Hamish and Kane are non-threats. Dedmon is really only a threat at the 3-point line or at the basket, and
right at the basket,
not that fadeaway hook shot or turnaround fadeaway like he likes to do.
The fucking Kobe fadeaway.
he thinks he Kobe. No, but just some of those lineup choices. Like I thought Spo needed to stagger Kyle and Bam a little bit more. There was a lot of stretchers where it was like Caleb in the bench, and I'm like, do we really want that? Like,
no.
Help. Like Gabe helps him a little bit, but there's no shooting in this lineup at all.
Yeah. He's got to shoot better. He's stressing me out. He's doing other things fine. I need him to start making shots again.
He's off too. It's not even like it's.
And I think he's still. I think he's still feeling whatever his injury was when he subbed back out the first time. I don't like the way he walked off the floor, but I'm not going to use that excuses for him. You're getting open looks. They're not far off, so it's not egregious, but tweak some things, get back on track.
Yeah,
but Caleb in the bench.
Gabe, 0 for 6 from 3. He's a much better player. He did contribute 4 assists, no turnovers, and was still +9. He had found a way to impact the game. Definitely on the defensive end. Hamish, oh my God, this guy. Shout out to Tiffany Meeks because I keep calling him Haysmith. Combining his name and Tiff's nickname for him, it's thrown me off completely. He was the only thing he really contributed on the box score was rebounds, but he was still a +14 somehow. He was just active defensively in the zone.
That's it. The activity, the rebounds are the things that come up. The activity, the springiness, the energy. Highsmith hits the backboard harder than
Siobhan, you there? Or you frozen? We lost Siobhan. She has frozen. But Highsmith did have a positive impact on there. Sometimes he does run around looking like a chicken with his head cut off, like my coaches used to say in high school. But he's been so he's just been there for most games, and it's not even like he's positively affecting the game. Sometimes he's just there. It's nothing's happening. He's not doing anything. Like what are you doing here? A lot of the times, but he was pretty solid tonight. Rebounding, the Heat have had so many issues on the glass. We've talked about it all season with the hole at the 4 in the rotation. And he did a fantastic job just playing his role, just grab rebounds, get out of the way offensively, defend. We got Siobhan back. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what Wi-Fi went out.
You froze perfectly on time. It was great. No, it was perfect. It was perfect time. Let's talk about Caleb. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block. Like, he was just everywhere.
I need to see it a little bit more to know that it directly correlates the way that I suspect it does and hope it does. But this is what I think you get more of this from him with him back coming off the bench. It's a lot to start at the 4, to be guarding up.
Yes.
They ask him to handle the ball and initiate stuff like at random spots throughout the game. And I think back with the bench, he's able to slash the cut to give you that jab and then attack baseline. He has a little bit more legs. You can see what's happening and insert yourself.
Too much legs sometimes. Paulette Jr. says still can't figure out how to get his toes behind the line. He hit a step back and his foot was on the line. I was so mad. It was like perfect shot, perfect timing, just one toe on the damn line.
Hamish did the same shit. Hamish caught it, like stepped back to make sure he got behind the line and still did not. Like his right foot was still on the line on like the left wing. But yeah, I think with Caleb, I hope that and we can talk about Jovic and his usage or not, whatever later. But even if they don't play Jovic heavy minutes, I do think allowing him to start so that Caleb can come back off the bench and kind of just settle into what is his more natural role with this group. I think you see more high level productivity stat wise from him. I thought he had a really good game tonight.
Yeah, and into the Jovic conversation, he's a good connector on offense. Like he plays his role, he spaces, he cuts, he passes, he shoots when he's open. And I think right now you're not seeing a lot of positives on the box score. He was a -8 tonight, 7 points, 5 rebounds. But he's taking everything looks good. Like it's not like he doesn't look out of place. He just looks like he's not ready yet. Like he looks, everything I see from him, the decision making, the awareness, it's good. He's in the right spot. He just misses an open shot, a little short on a jumper, a second late on the rebound. Doesn't come out too aggressive on the closeout like that. Like those are things that can be coached and fixed with experience and discipline.
No, I agree fully. A lot of it's going to be once he gets more athletic, once he gets springier, once he learns how to play with a little bit more force. And I think that's what Spo likes when he, like in some of the lineups when we're like, why the fuck is Haywood in? And like, why can't Jovic be getting these minutes? For all of Haywood and even Jamal, for all of these guys, Deadman, for all of their kind of what the fuck moments, they bring a certain level of either athleticism or just physicality that I know Spo values. And once Caleb, once Nicola gets that and just kind of settles into his grown man body, he'll be fine. Like you said, nothing looks rushed, nothing looks out of place. He's smart. He's he's reading the game a little bit ahead. Like he's fine. His body and his physique has to mature to an NBA stretch wing forward is his game, and once he does that, he'll be straight.
Yeah, he's 19. He's
Yeah,
listed at 215, but he's probably closer to like 205.
205. Yep.
Yeah. He needs some muscle on him, and as he
Mhm.
acclimates his body to the game, like those shots that are
Yeah.
short won't be short anymore, and
Yeah.
he'll be able to bang inside a little more on the help. I like having an extra body in the even if he's not a positive every night. I like
Mhm.
letting him get better and grow the team, especially when you're short on bodies and length, anyways.
Mhm. Yep.
And the
Totally agree.
playmaking, like you mentioned, he's so good at passing, man. Like I love when he grabs the ball, or he rebounds, pushes it, and lets everyone flow to their natural spots in transition.
Hmm. He has a bit of an awareness with getting it to Bam. They were coming up in like semi transition, and Kyle was at the top. Tyler was on the left wing. Nick was on the right wing. Bam was kind of on the right block area, and Tyler was pointing at Jovic to get it back to Kyle to kind of, I guess, like swing it around, work it around, so that it eventually comes back to him at some point. And he fed Bam, and just similarly to kind of what Kyle does, like Bam would kick it back to Kyle, and Kyle give it right back to him, like, no, go work, go kind of operate. And yeah, I like the way that they feel around him. It'll
Mhm.
be interesting to see. I'm not concerned, but I'm interested to see what his usage looks like with Tyler back in the lineup, with
Mhm.
Tyler getting, being back and the ball being in his hands. There's already like not tension or strife or whatever, but there was a little bit of friction with Kyle and Tyler. And so to have three, well, I mean, Bam and Jimmy, are ball handlers as well, but I just will be interested to see, how the three of them, mainly Tyler and Nick, how they mesh or don't. But I do think, like I said, I want Nick to continue to start. And again, don't have to be like 37 minutes of the game. Let him start out, let it, look a little more natural. And like I said earlier, keeping Caleb, coming off the bench.
Yeah, and I know you, and they play a lot of zone anyways. Like
Oh,
you can find spots for him if you're hiding Tyler in the bottom wing of the corner, on the 2-3 or the 3-2. You can put Jovic there, and he can give you more than Tyler
yeah.
gets you there. And Jovic doesn't get in the way offensively, which I really
Right.
like.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
that's high IQ. That's guys are gonna like playing with him because of that.
Hmm. Hmm.
We've talked a lot about Jovic for a guy who played 12 minutes. We're just so excited to see him play and
Yeah.
what he can be. What'd you think about the zone tonight? I know I saw you on the timeline dissecting the difference between their 2-3 and their 3-2, and even a little 1-3-1 tonight. That 1-3-1 was
I but it's awful because, oh my, okay, so let's start from I do not like the 2-3. Their best zone look for me is the 3-2
awful.
or the matchup 3-2. It is easier if you're facing a basketball, if you're facing a hoop and you're looking at the arc, it is easier to cover down in the like out of a 3-2 than it is to start at your forwards to cover up and possibly have to come back down. Um, I don't like the 2-3 because the back line doesn't take responsibility for that middle person the way that they should. They leave that person open and like either dare them to take that or step up too late when they should be showing a body there so to discourage the pass. By the time the pass is made, then they're stepping up. Now it's a dump off because the middle person has stepped up, but that's vacated that spot. And so now you just get the dump off to the person below. The 1-3-1, I don't like it with the lineup that they ran it.
Mhm.
I'm not putting Dwayne Dedman in the back of my 1-3-1. That person needs to be mobile and able to get from corner to
It needs
corner.
to be Gabe.
Like it could, yeah, it should be Gabe. Maybe I would, I would throw Hamish or
Yeah,
Jamal. Just
yeah.
give them tries. Of course, Bam. Um, It needs to be someone that's going to pay attention, that can anticipate. You start 3 guys up front as the offense, start 3 up front, put 1 in the middle, start that dude in the middle, and then bring him up front and just move it around the horn. That one person in the back is going to have to cover out to the corners. So I don't like it with Deadman. I don't like the 2-3 because they don't communicate well. We're not covering shooters. We're not stopping penetration. We're not covering the man person. Like, I don't know. Someone asked me on the timeline, what is Spo trying to accomplish with the 2-3? I genuinely don't know. I want them to go 3-2. Or if you're going to do the 2-3, communicate better what's happening between the back people and that person sitting in the middle.
Yeah, the communication has been something we've noted a lot during this stretch. That it seemed like it's been lacking defensively. A lot of miscommunications, switching, going in transition, especially. Like Gianni talks about the transition numbers being okay, but it's leading to a lot of half court offense where the matchups are exactly how they want them with 20 seconds on the clock. They didn't have to work for anything, and that's affecting the half court defense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I don't know what that is. I think the players, I blame the coaching. I blame the players on that. Communications, everyone's got to take responsibility for that.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the idea in bringing most of the team back is so that you have continuity, so you don't have to, like, quote unquote teach or reteach things, but you still have to, like, you do still have new people. Hamish isn't new. He was here last season, but he has he's playing many more minutes. Jamal is new. Nicola is new, right? So, like, you're still going to have to reteach or teach, period. And you should probably, like, go over some things, like some refreshing with the guys who have been there. So I'm not really sure where the disconnect is. Like I said, I don't know if it's the coaches. I don't know if it's them on the floor, but between both groups, like, it has to get better. It has to improve.
I agree. They did a decent job. Defensively, they did a pretty good job. The Washington was missing Beal, obviously, and they were missing some of their other core players. No Monte Morris either. But holding them to 10 of 38 from 3, winning the rebounding battle. Offensively, they got the Heat grabbed twice as many offensive rebounds as Washington. They grabbed 10 more rebounds. Assist to turnover was okay. Washington did a good job of that, but you forced Washington into more turnovers. You got a few more shots, and that's the difference right there at home.
Rebounds, a lot of that, like Hamish with 8, Jamal with 6 in 18 minutes, right? Like, the offensive rebounding was a group effort, and it felt intentional. Like, it felt like they were trying to crash boards. Missed some bunnies. That sequence where, like, Jamal missed 2 and then Bam tried to put it back and then he missed. I was like, fuck. But no, they were there, and that was encouraging.
It was points in the paint. They lost by 10, but when you're down Jimmy and you're getting Tyler coming back off an injury, and he was shooting a lot more jumpers than we probably like. Once he gets it going, we want Tyler to tackle it more, get to the line.
That's the zone. That's the 2-3. That's them getting what they want out of that. God, it stresses me out.
That's definitely true. Tyler only shot 2 free throws, missed them both. Want more from that. We can close out with Bam, I guess. 15 points, 11 rebounds.
Pretty pedestrian
block. Yeah. He started off pretty slow. I think he missed like his first 5 or 6 shots, and then finished with solid game. Defensively, I think his presence was felt. I think there was drives against the zone that they could have hit him in the middle, and they over penetrated or overpassed, kicked it out instead of finding him and letting the zone collapse when he gets the ball, and then him make the decision. We lost Siobhan again. I think we lost Siobhan again. She is frozen. She's got Kenny's Wi-Fi tonight. It's okay. Little bit of chat. Let's see. Kenshi says, P.S. I hope the fan base remembers this. If when Kyle has down games, they won't. I definitely think that's a big point. to make that we need to appreciate Kyle. He didn't put up like all-star numbers last season when everyone went down, but he was the engine that got everyone going. We got Siobhan back. Yeah, we go. So Bam, let's go back to Bam. He was good defensively, wasn't great. Some of that is on the help, and some of that's the zone, the rebounding could have been better overall. But I thought he rebounded well for pun not intended from the slow start.
Yeah, I was fine with him tonight. Um, Bad Wi-Fi and the Heat win. I don't know who you think you're talking to. This isn't Franky. Or I'm sorry, this is not Kenny.
Oh,
This ain't Moose's Wi-Fi has been some shit lately too. Um, yeah, no, I was fine with Bam tonight. I always, not always, like 87% of the time, I feel myself wanting to feel Bam a bit more. I do think they missed him sometime when Washington went zone, but I don't like the way that we approached their zone at all anyway. There felt like there was no intention to try to get it anywhere inside. Like it's strange. You play a zone against a team who like theoretically can't shoot, but that is Miami's like base offense. So we were playing against Golden State and fucking Sacramento shot us out the gym or whatever. DC zoned us up, but we really aren't, at least right now or throughout this game, like not a good 3-point shooting team. And so I think when they went zone, it felt like we fell for a lot of the like, oh shit, the three is kind of open. I would have liked to see us like do some stuff in the zone, do some Xing action, like screen the zone, get it. Someone screened it for Nikola and he snaked it really nicely and like got right to the nail, but then over penetrated and like kind of bobbled it a bit and didn't know what to do once he kind of met the resistance. So I think that there was space to get Bam more involved within the look of their zone defense. I just don't like that how we approached it overall. But even in some of the man stuff.
Oh no, did we lose her again? I think we lost her again. Yeah, I think. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Gosh, Bam was fine before I get cut off again. Look for him more. Be more intentional about how we attack the zone. We play too much zone to not know how to beat a zone.
I definitely agree. I think there's times, and we talked about this on the timeline, where there's plays where they attack a closeout against the zone and penetrate, and then they have a 2-on-1 with the middle guy and Bam, and instead of going up for the shot or passing it to Bam, they kick it out for a three. And it's like, why are you have a 6'9" all-star inside, you have a 2-on-1, and you're passing it to a 30% 3-point shooter.
That's the pass they want you to make. It's open. Yes. Like, yeah, that's a fine look or whatever. And if that's a knockdown, like corner 3-point shooter, like you said, you have the 2-on-1 going toward the rim. Find a way to get some interior passing.
We close on this. Crap photographer says Siobhan's Wi-Fi is dying as often as Kendrick Nunn on a screen.
Y'all can leave me alone. Okay? This Thanksgiving, okay? My Wi-Fi is tired. It's once the clock out.
Absolutely. From Heat Beat to all of you guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. We love y'all. We are going to be pre-gaming on Friday. Me and Kenny will hold it down, and I don't know if G's going to do a post-game yet, but we'll definitely be there for pre-game. Got you guys covered. Siobhan, where can everyone find you?
Mostly just on the timeline for as long as Twitter is a functioning platform. I'm.
Oh no, that's perfect timing. Siobhan's is at Siobhan Beslow on Twitter. Find her tweeting about the games. She does her great Twitter threads about the Heat offense and the defense throughout the game, breaking it down, what went right. You get more in-depth look, and you can really learn a lot about basketball. There we go. She's back again.
This is nuts. This is nuts. I'm done. Find me on the timeline. Last thing I want to say, my heart's been kind of heavy over the last week. I extend my heart to the families in Colorado Springs. There was a shooting in my city last night near my job. That shit hurts my heart too. So like, check on your people, man. Like,
Yeah.
give a hug, talk to somebody, man. And yeah, just be kind, be good people. We
Yep.
need more good people. Like, this place is shitty enough. So try
Yeah.
not to add too much to it.
Well said. Well said. And we, we love everyone here. That's a part of our little community. We love each other, and we appreciate y'all for always supporting us, supporting each other in our times of needs. Definitely, we wish y'all the best Thanksgiving. Y'all take care. Be with your loved ones. Hug them hard. Love them. Appreciate them while we're all here. Give everyone their flowers while they're still here. I think that's really important,
Certainly.
and that we don't forget that. We love y'all. Heat win. It's
Appreciate
great.
y'all. Heat
It's
win.
great.
Let's do
Y'all have
this
a-
again on Friday.
yes, please. We need this. Good night, y'all.